what it is, what it do. It's your girl, Brittany. I'm back. I'm better with another video. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, like the video, click the bell to be notified of every time I post. You know what it is. I know what it is. We know that I post frequently. All right, y'all, say it with me collectively. We are jumping, we are skipping, we hopping, we leaping, we doing it. Ducky bow, ducky out into this video. Click the link down in the description box below to become a paid member on my Patreon. All right, y'all, come without further ado. Let's go and get into this Playboys panel. Now, they started off the panel talking about Maul and Landon. So, obviously, as we know, on the first episode, Landon didn't need that, from Maul. He didn't think it was an issue on how they did everything. And regardless if he did think it was an issue or not, he wasn't finna solve it by trying to fight Maul or whatever. Boom. So, they end up going into detail, basically just saying that production had already set it up to where they were looking for him to stand up for himself or be like, no, this is my stuff, I'm the only host, and looking for Landon to jump off. So they had already set up the two houses. They had already put it together as far as it being like this house A, this house B. They was already setting the stakes up to where all Landon had to do was play into what they wanted. But he didn't play into it. So from his point of view, or how he trying to make it show to us, he's like, he was a host first. He did not want to fight anybody. He wanted to come in and actually host. Now, he is saying that we shouldn't feel like he ducking face with nobody because he got to fight with Man Man. And, Man is basically like bigger than Maul. So why would he not fight Maul but fight Man Man? And I can tell you why you fought Maul instead of Man Man. I honestly think that, again, production was trying to set him up, but he wasn't going to fall for the okie doke because we seen on Love and War, he didn't fall for the okie doke. We seen on the lives, he didn't fall for the okie doke. I don't think it's much of anything that Maul can do to make Landon fall for the okie doke. When it comes to Maul, Landon just doesn't feel as though he gonna defend himself. Obviously, as we know, early on in Now That's TV, we ain't seen Landon get tore by Maul. I think, to an extent, he has a reputation of winning most of his fades. Like, most of his fades, he gonna get out there and do what need to be done. And he gonna fight the same people who he feel as though he can beat. He has fought, and this is no shade, he's fought Pootie, he's fought Ant. I don't know who else he's fought, but I know for sure he's fought Pootie and Ant. Pootie and Ant are people that he feel like, I can win against you. He fought against Solo. He fought against Pharaoh, let my people go. But when it comes to the Cashys, the Mauls, if he feel like they gonna work him, he would rather go the opposite direction. Again, this is the same person who paid Cashy $50 not to fight him. Like, be for real. So, yeah, he definitely, picks and chooses who he want to fight. We've seen him fight Dooley and get whooped by Dooley. I mean, we know this about Landon. We know Landon is very smart. He's very charming, and he can be very manipulative with his words. He definitely can do that. He can be very manipulative with his words, and he knows how to talk a good game. But, all of us know that you don't need that from all. Like, they set it up to where they was looking for him, to react a certain way, and he wasn't going to get it under no circumstances. He wasn't going to get it. And again, we seen that he got caught up in a lie when he said that he had talked to Maul the day before filming, but then instead of being told Isaiah that he ain't talked to Maul for real, they just had a small back and forth on the internet. But I definitely think if Landon leaked, Maul would jump and Maul would knock him back down. I think Maul is waiting on Landon, fiending for Landon to play with him, but he know Landon ain't finna fight him. We move on to Metro, Zay, and Khalil. Now, obviously, as y'all know, Khalil came on there trying to defend his name when it came to the whole Ivory and Stunner Girl situation. They did a remix, a flip of a coin, and, he ended up fighting Metro Zay, which was out of the blue because Metro Zay and Khalil didn't have any beef. So from Metro Zay's point of view, he was like, he thought that him and Khalil just was gonna read each other. He a bingo girly. So, on bingo they read. So he was just gonna read, give it to him, But Khalil said, his anxiety was out the roof. He had came in here and he knew a lot of people wanted to get him. So he kind of was just like, let's get it over with. I just want to go and fight it out and be done. He wanted to just get it over with. So therefore, he ran up, didn't put a bag down or nothing, went up with his little Lulu on, his Chanel bag, and just, got tore. Oh well. So boom. They end up saying that Metro was the most valuable Playboy of the week. I think that's definitely true. Very much true. I liked it, Metro. It was the confessional where he did the swoosh, swoosh. I will say this when it came to the confessionals, a lot of times I definitely feel as though these shows overly use confessionals. But, in the beginning, us as the audience, we absolutely enjoy the confessionals. And I would say the top people who really ate in their confessionals, in my opinion, was definitely Metro. Metro came number one. He showed his personality through and through. Very much so. It was big, it was bold, and it was a key. It was funny. It was very flamboyant. Very much so. Cashy was another one who gave a really good confessional. He gave a lot of more energy than we've seen in the past with his confessionals. He very much gave a lot of energy. He had definitely funny moments. Obviously, we know Rich Zay is always going to give. I don't feel as though his confessionals really ate, but we know when it comes to somebody's confession they're going to use over and over, we know they're going to use Rich Zay's. We know they're going to use Landon's. I would say this episode in particular, Landon calmed down in his confessionals more so. I feel as though he took a way more mature, evil villain route. It was very cunt, but it was very serious. It had a serious undertone to it, but it gave don't play with me very much. Unbothered, but I hit you if you need to be hit. Maul's. Even though we didn't see a lot of Maul's confessional, Maul, y'all know, can read. Maul is amazing at reading. Great. One thing Maul has a great way of doing is his tone. He could say some words, but the tone, wherever the tone is at, that's where you're going to take it. His tone came very serious. It gave, watch me work. I'm here to clock in. I'm finna do my job. And one thing about it, he's always had good confessionals. I don't think people give Maul enough credit. His confessionals has always been something to see. He gives personality, and I definitely feel as though this episode in particular, we seen a lot of good personality show through and through in these confessionals. I would even say Ken did a great job as, coming in. His wasn't as flamboyant. It wasn't as over the top, but it was cool. But it was a type of energy where you still wanted to sit and listen to what he had to say. Now, the next Playboys I'm going to talk about, I don't have any pictures of them because I try not to keep pictures of them in, my bag of pictures. I really just don't care for either of these two people, which is Ant and D. Scott. I don't care for neither one of them, to be honest, and I definitely felt as though they wasted my time. They wasted my time on this episode. And I will always put them as my least two valuable Playboys. Their fade was unnecessary. D. Scott over there tap dancing. He in church. He about to catch the Holy Ghost. And over there lying. Still, literally got the belt in his hand and missing. They're very much two people that are a waste of space to me when it comes to this TV shit. I never have to see them again. Ever. I never had to see neither one of those two on my TV screens. I was really pissed off that Now That's TV even brought both of them back. And one thing about Now That's TV, what irritates me so much about them, one thing they gonna do is overly use Ant confessionals. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Ant, it seems like a really, really good person. But baby, when I tell you on TV, not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea. When I see Ant Confessionals, I immediately get to skipping. Immediately. I definitely felt as though him and D. Scott was a waste of time. And a lot of the Playboys called Ant out on the live because he sat up there and lied to them saying that he tore D. Scott. He tore him. But you went face first to the ground. You pushed y'all down and you went face first. How does that work? He just, oh my God, and mind you, on the panel, he just kept talking. I said, oh my God, when is they gonna take him down? He talked about everything. He overly talking to everybody. I'm like, he want to find his voice so bad on this particular panel, and I just am like, no, you're not getting a voice tonight, Sheila. Go up the mountain and try to save your marriage. Like, oh, so annoying. But they talked about them real quick. Then this is where it kind of got juicy. So, I ain't gonna lie. On the panel, Kobe was on there. So, as y'all know, it was the Two-Headed Goats panel. They usually do the after shows with, the people or whatever, the cast. Kobe had unfinished business. He was letting these folks know, when I see you, I'm going to get you. When I see you, I want you, I need you, I'm going to have you. Now, we did end up talking to Cashy, and, everybody was irritated and pissed off by the fact that him and Maul was playing like, oh, when I see you, nigga, when I see you, I'm on that, I need that. And they got to hugging each other. So Cashy said, number one, he did acknowledge that, they were hugging each other. But he did say the next fade is going to be a good fade. He said the next one will be so much better. So the next one is probably the one that now this TV kept teasing, where him and Maul was punching each other so hard. They let us know they went 3 rounds. So they did 2 in that scene. And then, somewhere down the line, they fight again. But their current relationship is very good. They are working on their friendship. Maul even called him his friend on the panel. Now, will they be as close as they once were? We don't know, but they are working on their friendship because, as we all know, they did have a great friendship that went left and sour very quickly. But they are men, so men can still be cool with people who said certain things to them. Now, Cashy did let us in on, a little secret. So as y'all know, everybody and their daddy want to do a Bad Blood now, ever since Cash and Naj did theirs. So as y'all know, Dooley and Solo did theirs. Now, the twins, 2020 twins, they want to be back on Now That's TV. And, of course, Q been saying for the longest that he want to fight Maul for, Maul disrespecting his brother who ended up transitioning. Now, boom, Cashy lets us know that Maul asked him to come to the Bad Blood with him. He was going to be his, person to come with him or whatever. And then, obviously it was going to be a twins. Cashy said that the twins then declined. It was too late, whatever. But hopefully they going to ship them back out. I think they trying to see how us as the fans care enough about the Bad Bloods when it comes to the boys. Obviously, when it came to Cash and Naj, everybody was, needing to see that. It took forever for us to get this. So, of course, we wanted to see that. But, as I told y'all, they already did it between Dooley and Solo. So, I think they want to see the ratings with that. And if the ratings go good with them, then they'll get Maul and Q to fight. I think it'll be more so like that. But, honestly, for me, just for me personally, I would rather see Maul and Q versus Dooley and Solo. Because, to be honest, Dooley and Solo, okay, okay. But I feel like the more relevant fight for us currently is the twins and Maul. I think that's the more relevant fight. But that's all I got for y'all in this one. I love y'all. I'm going to see y'all in the next one. Hopefully, the way they are promoting the next episode is all that and more. Like I told y'all, it probably was going to be this scene where everybody came in, got that, ate it up, and then, they're going to have the dinner scene after that. So I'm going to see y'all in the next one. I love y'all. Bye.